I remember my parents were going through a really rough time. They were on the verge of a divorce. They didn't get divorced until my junior year, but they were separated when I was a sophomore. And I was going through a lot. I hit a really big low starting the beginning of 7th grade, and then it just went into a really deep depression. And it didn't seem like there was any light anywhere. And I was really good at covering it up, which probably made it worse because none of my friends knew what was going on. I was so used to being the one that would help them with their problems that I just never bothered talking about it. During my sophomore year of high school, I was involved in theater. I had a lot of friends in theater. A couple of them I knew were very open about their faith. 2 guys, Nate and Ben. They were like older brothers. They were really cool, and we were in a lot of shows together, and Ben and Nate were also in band with me, so I talked to them a lot. For Ben's birthday, he won tickets to see Skillet, and the 2 people he invited to go couldn't go, so he invited me and another friend. This was a Thursday the concert was, and I just remember that Friday I had planned that I was going to live out that week, and then Friday I was planning on committing suicide. And so I figured this concert would be my kind of last hurrah. I'd try to have fun that night, and then the next day, that would be it. So, I was freaking out because I was like, I don't know why I feel this way, but just shake it off, whatever. So, we get to the concert, we listen to the opening acts, and the Skillet starts. I was just standing there amongst this mosh pit of people that was just finally starting to settle down after the last song. And then the frontman of Skillet, he came up to the mic again, and he was kind of calming the group down, and he started to introduce this next song. And he was saying how the song that they were going to be playing, it was about this friend that he used to have. This guy apparently was really big in church, really involved, that typical nice guy. And then one day he all of a sudden just up and committed suicide, and no one knew that he was planning on it. No one knew that he was even upset about anything or depressed. And this guy was really, really close to him, and so it hurt him personally too. And he was just talking about all the hurt that suicide brought upon everybody that this guy knew. And he's telling this story, and I was shocked and just stunned, and I felt like I was just paralyzed. And I just started sobbing, and I was just staring at this man talking in the microphone, and I'm just sobbing. And all of a sudden he looks, and at this point I didn't believe that anything like this could happen. I didn't believe in the supernatural, I didn't believe in the spiritual realm, nothing, but he looked directly at me. Out of all of these people, he looked directly at me and he said, "Don't do it. It's not worth it." And I just lost it. Like, I had already been crying, but then I was just like, I almost collapsed. And it felt like something just struck my heart, and I was just shocked and just so overwhelmed with emotion. Ben kind of gave me like a sidelong glance, and he's like, "Hey, you okay?" And I couldn't even say anything. I couldn't speak. I just kind of like shook my head, and he's like, "You want to go back and pray?" So, we were praying, and he was just praying that we would feel, comforted by Jesus and His grace and love and sacrifice for us. And I just remember sobbing some more, and then Ben pulled me into a hug and told me, everything's gonna be okay. I promise, everything's gonna be all right. And I never felt so comforted before. I just felt an immense peace that I had never felt, and I just remember feeling so welcome and so happy. And my mom, who had been working with me on this for quite some time, because she became a Christian about a year before I did, she was so happy and she was so excited, and it was just a really, really good day. And from there on out, it just went on and up from there. Like, I got involved. I started playing soccer. I really felt even more connected to band and theater the way I feel like we almost should when we have natural talents. Because I was linking them to God. I had to let go a lot of things. Like, I started let going a lot of pride I had. you know, I didn't talk to my friends about anything because I felt like I needed to be this perfect person. I had pride in being that friend that they could always come to, and now I started going to them because I could let go of that. And I let go of a lot of frustration and that I had with my parents and the divorce and my dad, because we didn't have a very healthy relationship. I let go of a lot of anger towards that. God puts you in situations a lot of the time where you do have to let go of a lot of things that you're so used to having, so used to being possessive over. But he's not doing it to make you miserable, or he's not doing it to really make you give up something. He's just trying to show you something else that you're probably going to love even more, or something that's going to benefit you and further his kingdom.